Welcome back to the Overwatch Open. We're here in the North American Finals. This is week 4. One of these teams is going to get the coveted final spot for the automatic place into the playoffs and, of course, the best possible seeding. It is Complexity versus Team Liquid, and by the skin of their teeth, their Complexity managing to squeeze out the win on Kings Row.
Yeah, I mean, that Complexity, they really left it to the last minute. Literally, in what should have been sort of a very quick run in, just complete the map in a casual time, and you got it. Liquid took them to the very edge and more. It was a great showing by both teams, but Complexity now going to be on match point as we go to our next map. So Liquid, they do have to win the next two, but they've been playing Complexity close enough that they still have a very legitimate chance of taking it here.
We've seen, I don't even want to say we've seen flashes of brilliance from Team Liquid. They've actually been pretty solid, but solid in a way that perhaps is unspectacular even the word, because I feel like they've been able to push Complexity through, but they haven't had like the 4 or 5Ks that get, for example, the payload really, really quick and just moving half of them in, for instance.
Team Liquid has been consistent. That is the way to describe it. But we are moving in. The next map will be Hollywood. We'll see just what the Team Liquid defense has in store for us here. It is going to be Tahang here on the Zenyatta, Mezar on the Reinhardt, Minstrel on Lucio, Rafa going to be on the Zarya, ID on Reaper, and AZK on McCree.
Wow.
And one thing to note here about Hollywood, even though in the last few weeks we've had a trend of teams really taking point A super, super quickly, it is one of the maps where at one point teams could expect a full hold on. And with how good defense has been in this series, I don't know. I mean, normally I'd say, yeah, Complexity will just run in, take point A quickly, but maybe Liquid can shock us here.
Interesting physics question, ZP. Did you notice when they were attacking the railings, they were basically flying about 300 meters away? It looked like a nuclear explosion when they were knocking them out. So maybe playing around with the physics in the latest patch there. Blizzard having a good laugh. Now we see Complexity moving on in. They are, of course, on a match point. It is 2-1 in their favor in this best of 5. So they're playing for all the marbles right now, and Team Liquid are playing to stay in the tournament and try and fight for that 4th place spot.
Well, right now, Complexity not taking the quick approach, just staying back, poking, looking for their opportunity, as teams usually do here on Hollywood. They might be going in soon, but they're waiting for everyone to get in. They're pushing Liquid back bit by bit here. And we'll see how this works out. Liquid, they're bending. They're not breaking just in. We see Complexity actually going around the back flank. So, interesting approach here. They go back in instead. On the front, Mezar, though, first kill, takes out JKW. Both teams down a Reinhardt. It's back and forth, but this favors the offense when they're trading out kills like this early on.
Exactly right. I mean, at the end of the day, the defense has so much further to go. That's a really nice flash of fan onto Joe Meister, by the way, and AZ here getting that crucial pick. Team Liquid are going to be able to hold here, but of course, if Complexity can continuously trade off those 1 or 2 kills, it takes much, much longer for Team Liquid to reconvene. On this occasion, I think they'll have enough time to keep going for a full team fight.
We'll see. Complexity is definitely going to have a window here to really rush in while Liquid is waiting to reinforce. They're going to take this opportunity. They are moving in. Deadeye coming out from Torque, Complexity being very aggressive. Liquid just trying to stall, wait for the rest of their members to get back in here. But they're doing a good job of getting away from that Deadeye, even though they do sacrifice positioning to do so. Here comes Sound Bear from Complexity. They are going all in with what they have. They take out AZK immediately. 6v5, none worse for the wear. It's 6v4, unanswered, and this should be Complexity's point now.
And picking off ID to finish things off there. Lucio going, I can come back out now. It's no longer high noon, right? Unfortunately, that just leads him straight to death, and Complexity will be able to take this off. Torque looking for the exit. We're not going to let him go out that way. Oh, wait, that's the wardrobe. Mate, you can't get out that way. Stop it.
All right, so he's going to go into the spawn area and change it back out here. We'll see what Torque decides to move in on.
That's a very quick wardrobe change. That is an excellent costume
you just turned your Western Cowboy into a Cyber Ninja. It's
standard.
Clearly, they're pretty quick at that. Either way, this isn't the worst coming out here from Complexity. They do get through point A pretty quickly, but they have Liquid reset up here on the rooftop phase, so it's going to be more even here. No freebies in terms of momentum. But else-wise, both teams relatively even, so we'll see what Liquid has here. ID might be looking for some big heroics here with the Death Blossom.
Torque actually exploring up onto the roof there. He's trying to grab a little bit of space, but very difficult when Team Liquid are up there. We've got the Graviton Surge to start things off, though, and I believe that was from Rafa, so Team Liquid looking to try and collapse, but Tahang getting picked off up above from Torque, who came in from behind. They get 2 kills in the meantime, though, while everything else is going on. And the teams are both trading right now. Liquid down 3. One more Graviton Surge, says Rafa going down as well. That, of course, was on the part of Harblue. He's now down for Complexity. Both teams trading a lot.
It was a big trade from both teams. ID was able to put Liquid a little bit in a better position for part of that just by dropping down and getting Death Blossom. We got 1 kill outright, did a decent amount of damage to the backline. Complexity, though, was able to turn it back in their favor towards the end. And now they're going to keep this rolling. If they win one more fight, they should take second. And look at Nicholas right now. He is set up. Death Blossom out the right. Just going to drop it immediately. Gets very little from it. It just gets taken out instead.
Ouch.
Liquid read that. They backed out and immediately punished. And now this is going to put Complexity further back.
That was very, very nicely read from Liquid. And I believe it was Zarya, actually, who made that call. So Rafa instantly spotted, got the bubble on, and was instantly beaming the Reaper the entire time there. So a very good team communication there, allowing Liquid to potentially avert disaster.
All right, so Liquid, they will have Deadeye and Transcendence up in the next fight. Complexity pretty much all bankrupt. They might have a Dragon Blade in just a moment here from Torque, but that's going to be it. Will be unassisted until Shake gets a little bit more ult charge, and he just might go for it in a moment. He does have a decent opportunity. He's going to drop right in. Will the Dragon Blade be unsheathed? Maybe not. Nicholas died, now he's rethinking.
Without Nicholas there, it just makes that ever so slightly awkward. Joe Meister going down as well. Oh no, and that's ID. He manages to get a triple kill, actually. He picked the double to start off with, and he's grabbing a 4th onto Hardblue as well. That was excellently done. He's actually already a 3rd of the way to another ultimate. Reaper really coming into his own on the streets phase here.
Yeah, and what really went wrong there for Complexity is that Nicholas got a little bit over aggro before the Dragon Blade was unleashed. He probably should have waited for a moment, let Torque use the Dragon Blade as the big distraction, then go in, and then their odds of winning that would have been way better. To his credit, though, Torque did not throw good money after bad. He held on to it. Liquid did waste, or not waste, but they had to use ults there in that last fight, so Complexity doesn't have the worst chance going into this next fight.
Well, a move back in, and we can see Liquid is on top. Oh, Shake getting very close to death there. AZK doing a good job of trying to pick him off. Hardblue, though, biting off a little bit more than he can chew on the ground. And now we have AZK coming back on in. Not able to really get too much purchase, but managing to till off the shield and at least take the tank. But both sides now coming in. Complexity losing 2, just the 1 from Liquid. Rafa has an awful lot of charge, and is behind the Reinhardt shield as well, so he could do an awful lot of damage. But at the moment, only Hardblue in his sights, and he does have an awful lot of hit points.
ID once more being the rock, does get in the back line, takes out Torque, is going to be a big reason as to why Liquid is able to push this back. Liquid just doing super well in these last few fights, and let's talk about what is left here for Complexity. There's only a minute 35 left. Ult-wise, they have Earthshatter and Transcendence. They're not going to have Soundbearer up, so I think between Soundbearer and Transcendence, usually Soundbearer gets a little bit more value. Liquid has the ability here to dive right in on Complexity as they move in, and possibly just take that fight and put Complexity in a rough spot, because Complexity has maybe 1 long fight left of them, or 2 quick fights. So a lot is at stake here in this next fight, and Liquid does have the tools to end it, as ID does have Death Blossom at the ready.
Man.
They're on top. Are they about to leap down? Have to see.
Yeah, ID not exactly in the face of everyone else there. Could they spot them moving out of the hotel? Looks like Hardblue's actually spotted him trying to get a hook, so ID repositioning himself. If he can burst out here with a Death Blossom, this could actually be game ending. 50 seconds left, and very good. He saves it, spots the Transcendence coming out, and now this could end up being a fantastic timing. Wraithfall, are we going to be using the Death Blossom? We are indeed. Looks for the kills, gets Joe Meister to start things off, gets Torque as well, and that is an excellent push there from Team Liquid.
Team Liquid getting everything they want there, and now with 34 seconds left, Complexity, they should be able to touch the payload just to set this up for you. But they're going to have to give up all concepts of positioning. They are going to need everything to go right for them. They're going to need Liquid to underperform a little bit, but Liquid very much on the verge of a 2nd point hold right now. Complexity hoping for the miracle.
This is very tense. If Complexity are able to pull this off with no ultimates, by the way, Nicholas only just switching onto Reaper, that's going to be a borderline miracle, but it is possible here. They're moving out now, touching the payload, JKW on top, and look at a high ground advantage. AZK indiscriminately chucking damage down from above. JKW gets the first kill, which is great. He gets picked off, though. Soundbearer coming out, and we've got Deadeye as well coming out from a Torque. It doesn't look like he's going to be able to complete. Triple kill coming out from Liquid. They're keeping the dream alive.
AZK got a great double kill pulse bomb to set that up. It is Complexity fine, but AZK still taking out the remnants. Takes out Joe Meister in the back. Now looking for Hardblue. Getting right in on him. Will get that kill at the end of Zen. Wow. And that is going to be it. Team Liquid will get the 2nd point hold, and they are well set up now to go forward here on their attacking run and even up the series 2-2.
This is going to be mighty impressive if Complexity are able to come back from that. Team Liquid with excellent defense on the Streets phase. And I know we say it quite a lot, but I feel like Complexity's best shot right now isn't actually also a Streets phase hold. It's trying to hold them at the first point. Historically, though, on Hollywood's EP, that does tend to be very difficult indeed.
Yeah, I mean, it's so difficult that I'm not even saying, oh, they'll get the first point hold. It's very unlikely. There was a point where you could first point hold on Hollywood more often than not, but hey, you know what? I said this on Kings Row. We almost got first point hold in Kings Row, so maybe this is the night of just crazy things that should not happen happening. But you look at the stats, the raw, unflinching stats, especially in the last 2 weeks. The idea of a first point hold on Hollywood here between two evenly matched teams, probably not going to happen. So Complexity is really going to have to bring it hard in the Streets phase.
Man, with that box on the right-hand side, it looks like someone's playing Mario Kart in ghost mode right now on the Streets phase there. I'd love to see a couple of laps and some banana skins chucked here and there. I'm sure Winston wouldn't mind that either. Oh, that would make for an excellent game. I would play that. Overwatch karting.
Oh, Overwatch kart. All right.
Dude, that would be sick.
I'm down for it.
And you get like everyone with different abilities. You can see like Reaper, you know, with the Death Blossom. You have the cart spinning around and stuff. You can make the Hook would be so much fun.
Hook would just be terrible, but the question is, what is the blue shell in the game? But either way, we are getting into it. The attackers for Liquid are setting up, and those are wondering, gee, is he really going to go Hanzo? He just might. We have seen him go Hanzo in the past. It is a sort of guilty pleasure hero of ID's, and he's made it work very well on maps like Hollywood. We'll see if this is actually the case. Are our hearts being toyed with? Throws out one arrow, and
yeah, he's going to change now.
It looks like he's going to change.
Yeah,
yep, going to Zarya. So people have picked Hanzo a lot less since his hitboxes on the arrows got tweaked a little bit in the past. I haven't seen him too much, and sadly, Hanzo lovers, not happening.
No, I'm afraid not. Torque now just going to be using that covering fire. Nothing at the moment. Both teams looking for just a little bit of poke. Team Liquid's relatively staying together at the moment. Meza does have that shield up, of course, and we're looking 4 flanks on either side. Rafa hunting around at the moment for opportunity. They're going to be collapsing in right now. AZK getting the Zarya bubble as the Reinhardts clash into each other, but they are going to back off.
Right now, both teams string up Hook. Liquid knowing that they're playing with the house money a little bit here. They're not going crazy in terms of blitzing in. They're waiting for their opportunity. They are winning the poke board just a little bit. They are pushing Complexity back. Minstrel's a little bit poked, but that's about it. And now that here they go, they're pushing in even more. The Reinhardt charges out, does hit the other Reinhardts. JKW will fall. ID gets the fall through, makes it a double kill. And Liquid just piling on the pressure as ID gets another 2 kills. What Zarya play coming out from him. And this is going to be a first point cap here from Liquid. And again, pressure very much on Complexity here.
Yeah, this could end up being very fast indeed. ID absolutely the MVP there, as Zarya really pulling the team towards a victory. We are now on the second point, and it all comes down to distance. Now, 105 meters does seem like a long way, and frankly it is, because at the end of the day, the payload got to near the end. But they're not going to have to complete the map. It still stands that they have a very finite distance to complete here. Rafa trying to get a bit of poke. He moves out with 4 hit points, managing to keep himself alive. He does have to heal himself up, though, before he can go ahead and use the Dragon Blade.
Indeed, and take a look here what's happening here. Rafa right now just laying in the poke onto the Reinhardt shield. And again, Liquid, they are playing with the house money here. They have 5 minutes, not to complete the map, but just to hit the yellow marker here, which is not even at the second point. So they're taking it slow. Prioritizing payload pushing here. Complexity will be dropping in here in just a moment. They drop the beat, they drop themselves. They're gonna run right into the ground talk from ID. ID sets up AZK for the double kill, make it a triple. ID read them, AZK knocked them down. And oh man, Liquid is on fire.
Yeah, there is very, very little Complexity can do at this point. The payload is approximately 10, maybe 15 seconds away from completion right now, and Rafa getting into a little bit of a war with Zarya, but unfortunately, Harblu needed to try and focus on the point. Not going to be able to do so now, and Rafa is coming in for the cleanup job. He's hoping that this actually gets them the victory here. Transcendence being forced out from Complexity on the defense, still continuing to chop away, and that is one lucky Reaper.
Yeah, I mean, Complexity played that pretty well to come back in, but they actually lost Harblu early on there. Liquid, I think, got somewhat overconfident in what they were doing there. They weren't in proper positioning. They were sort of just rolling forward. It's like, all right, we got this. Well, surprise, you don't got this. Now, they still have 4 minutes left. They're still in a great position, and Complexity would trade spots with them in a heartbeat, but you don't need to make mistakes like that when you're about to win the game.
we need to be building up if they want one push that wins it for them now, ideally we'd have a little bit of Transcendence coming out from them too, but Minstrel will have Sound Barrier at least, and here comes the initial Graviton Surge. Chase, oh man, and that is going to be a double kill for Complexity, so that Graviton really paying dividends now. Nicholas making it a second, and Tor coming in to clean up as well, make that 2 for him as well. So right now, Team Liquid are being pushed back, but again, this isn't exactly the death of it. 3.5 minutes. If this ends up being a hold for Complexity and they win it right here, that will be impressive.
It would be impressive for Complexity to have a counter hold right now. Liquid, though, they're about to have a whole lot of ults here. To their credit, they'll have Earth Shatter, they'll have Graviton, Sound Barrier, and Deadeye. It's going to be a trade-out of Sound Barriers here. A lot is going to depend on the play from both Mezar and JKW. Here comes Graviton coming out from ID. Does get 2 in it. The counter charges in. 2 kills here from AZK, but here comes Torque looking for his blade to tilt the scales. Has taken out AZK, is still alive, but his teammates are falling all around him. Mezar finding 2 kills, and Complexity truly on the ropes. And this should be Team Liquid's cap.
Yep, there we go. Moving all the way to that point, and that is going to be it. 2-2 now. Team Liquid even it up, and both EU and North America are going to be going all the way to game number 5. We have the play of the match. It is Meza. Really nice to see a little bit of Reinhardt play there. Ooh, and starting with a rather disgusting-looking charge there. And able to, oh wow, very nice. The counter Earthshatter catching basically everybody on top of the card. And that is what allowed Team Liquid to push through with the victory.
Well, going into that last push, I did mention that the ult game was pretty similar between the two. It would come down to what Reinhardt was able to get a little bit more value, and Mezar was that person. He had a great Earthshatter at the end, and in conjunction with the rest of his team setting it up, he was able to put Liquid over the top. And let's talk about defense here for a second. Defense has been the name of Liquid's game here in the series. Really good holds coming out from them. In fact, it's why they were almost even able to take back King's Row.
Sure.
But now, we're going to be going to a game number 5.
Exactly right. And there's no point guessing what the map is going to be because there's only one more map in the pool. And it's very interesting because there's crossfire possibilities on point A. We'll talk about that a little bit when we return with Numbani for the final map of the night. See you there.